So, data analytics, reality, and myths. And we are gonna start with the first reality is data cleaning. And a lot of people, when they think of data analytics, they directly think of beautiful interactive dashboards, some reporting, some coding, but a lot of it is spending time getting the data to be usable. And that's what we call data cleaning. So just to simplify, what is data cleaning is when you receive a data set. Let's say you receive a table that has some sales information, and that table has a lot of noise in it. It's not clean, it's not usable. For example, we have an age column that has a lot of negative values, or we have some revenue column that has a lot of missing values. This is not clean, and this is therefore not usable. And one first step is to clean that and make it usable and trustworthy. And I like this representation of the iceberg here, because what we see and what we think of data analytics is just a small portion of the whole job, because most of it is behind the scenes, it's in the back end, it's doing the cleaning, the governance, and the standardization. And we're going to learn a lot of these things along the way. So a basic principle that we have in data analytics is garbage in, garbage out. If your data that you use is not good, then you cannot expect the output to be good. It's just common sense. And a few techniques here that we use in data cleaning, and we're going to cover this in practical ways in Excel, in SQL, in Python. So don't worry at all if these things seem a little bit new to you, but they're very important. So deduplication, this is where you just remove the duplicates. If you have rows that are the same, then the results are being doubled and they're making the whole analytics wrong. Let's say you have a house that appears 50 times and it increases the averages of the whole month, and that shouldn't be the case. So you have to get rid of those duplicates. Second, you have structural repair, and this is just fixing some minor typos. For example, here we can see street or st dot, which in many cases represent the same thing. So we want to standardize or normalize our data as well. We need to also handle missing values. So if we have missing values, what should we do? Should we just delete the rows completely? Should we replace them by the average of that column? Or what should we do? So we're going to see practical things on how to approach each and every case, because there's not one answer that works for this. And lastly, here we have the outlier removal. What is an outlier? An outlier is a number or a value that is way far away from the rest of the values. Let's say you work in a housing problem and the average housing goes from, let's say, $100,000 to $15 million. But you have three houses that were worth over $1 billion. It's a huge jump. And clearly it's wrong, because there's no house that costs $1 billion. So that's an outlier and it needs to be removed or dealt with. There is the outlier that still makes sense, which, for example, in the housing example, we have maybe a few houses that are worth $50 million, which is still a possibility. But when it's something that is ridiculous, then obviously we need to get rid of it. So I want to bust a common myth in here. And myth number one, we say that data analytics is just numbers. No, it's not. We need to understand the context, we need to communicate it, we need to understand the business, and make sure that our numbers are trustworthy by doing a good cleaning process, and then the analytics add some value to the business. And myth number two, it's just a one-time project. When you're gonna start your journey in data analytics, you're gonna get a lot of these people that are non-technical and they're not data savvy. They think that this is easy. And especially now that we have AI tools, they think they can just throw a random Excel sheet into ChatGPT and get the analytics, and they call it a day. Yes, that's a thing, but if you don't trust the data, then you cannot trust the results. So it's never a one-time project. There's usually a lot of things that are ongoing. You need to monitor the results, refine the results, and that's something to keep in mind. Myth number three, it's only for big tech. Data analytics is not just for big tech. As an entrepreneur, as a solopreneur, you should be also using data. Data is everywhere. And if you use the data right, you can make informed decisions that can help your business be more productive. And that's not just for big tech companies. And myth number 4 is tools equals to success. Tools, as the name suggests, are just tools. They're there to help you get to a certain output. They're not there to just because you use a fancy tool that means that you do better analytics. That's not true. And that's why you will find a lot of people that work with Excel or Python or SQL, and all of them are able to do most of the same things because the tools matter less than the context. And as it says here, software is just a tool. Human strategy drives the value. And that's the whole point of learning how to become a data analyst and not just get absorbed by tools. So the future of augmented analytics is that we're going to be leveraging a lot of AI, and we are already. In my work, when I do some analytics, I have an AI assistant on the side to help me query faster, answer my questions, brainstorm with me, and even generate code for me. But it only makes sense when you know what you're looking for, when the data is trustworthy, meaning that you did the cleaning and preparation in a way that you have control, that you trust that the results are going to be accurate. Because with the wrong data processing and cleaning, all the analytics will be biased and will be wrong. So that's a very important step. And obviously, when using AI, there's a lot of data privacy, ethical reasoning that needs to be considered. You cannot just take and throw your client's data everywhere on the internet. So that's something that you should be really aware of. You can take a snapshot of the data, you can simulate that data, but please be aware that it's not because AI is there that you will be sending clients' data and your company's data just like that everywhere. And a lot of people say that AI will replace data analysts or will replace people in tech or will replace a lot of things. But as long as you can think, you understand the processes, you understand the business, you understand how your work drives business value, then you're more than just an analyst. You're more than just someone that can code, do some manipulations on Excel, or create dashboards on Power BI. You're more than that. You're there to add value to the business and not just to do some code. And when you understand that, everything that you do is supercharged. I want you from this course to not only become good technically, but I want you to have the mindset of a successful data analyst. And this is what it takes to become one. So analytics is a tool for human decision making, not a replacement for it. So as long as you can think and use AI as your collaborator or assistant, you can only succeed. And the key takeaways here is that you need to expect that you're going to spend time on cleaning and preparing the data. And one thing that I will tell you from experience is that you can use AI tools to do this for you, but what happens when you do it is that all the results that come afterwards, you need to believe that the AI did it 100% correct. And we all know that's not always the case. For a simple example, yes, maybe, but for a more complex example, if you just trust all the cleaning processes that the AI did without checking them and without giving the AI context, then you're very likely going to get some results that are completely weird and you will have to do the whole job all over again. So I advise you to never skip these first steps and do them yourself. Use AI along the way, but still be the one that monitors the results. And the goal is to use the tools to find patterns and help you with the analytics, but always use your judgment to make decisions. Don't let AI do everything for you. Be the one in control. Be the one in charge.